Welcome. We're at Manistee Ranch. It's a hidden gem in the Cactus District at 51st Avenue and Northern. I'm here with Jessica Corey. Many of you will know her. She's my daughter's favorite teacher. She was a longtime educator here in Glendale. I grew up down the street from her. This is the famous Manistee Ranch. And Jessica, it almost looks the same how it did before, except it doesn't have all the orchards out front any longer.
Yes, it has changed quite a bit since the Historical Society was fortunate enough to get grants to get this property.
Right. And then what you can't see is a beautiful home that was in the orchard where Walgreens is. Remember the adobe structure?
Yes, that was the Lewis Sands family home. And that's where Buzz Sands grew up.
Which is the famous Sands Chevrolet, if people wondering who Buzz Sands is. And what we forget, this front part is a city park, which is very unique, and then the Historical Society owns and operates the house itself and the farm stuff behind it.
And the office and the granary and the garage. And if you come to our picnic in November, then you get to tour all of those extra buildings.
Yes.
And
how often is it open for tours?
It's open the first and third Saturday, October through May, first weekend in May, and you get to visit all the floors in the house, and you also get to visit the office, which is a state-of-the-art office.
Listen, I'm glad it became a museum. I grew up here. I worked caddy corner. In the old days at a gas station, I would deliver the Sands cars back. Pulled up here. I only made it to the steps. Hand in the keys, I'd walk back to work. And it wasn't until this was a museum I finally got to step inside.
Well, my mother came out here because Mrs. Sands, Marie, was very influential in the Girl Scouts. And so my mom came all the way out from Phoenix and came to a luncheon there.
Oh, how nice.
Yes.
Well, let's take everybody inside.
Sounds good. Okay.
Jessica, why don't you just give me the full tour, how you do to anybody else that stops in.
All right. This was the main living room, and in 1925 they did a lot of additions, and you can see right up there the little cut in the molding. This part was added in 1925 to expand the area because they had 4 boys, and here are the 4 boys right here. We've got Charlie, David, and Ed, and John. And Charlie still lives in Phoenix. David lives in Montana. Ed lives in Flagstaff. The Sands were a very artistic family. We have several of Marie's pictures here, this large Indian, and these 2 pictures of Canyon de Chelly. And Charlie Sands remembers when his mother painted those pictures. We have Frances Sands, who was the first woman to live in the house. They moved in here in 1907. Here's her tea set over here. So we have a lot of interesting things. Here is a picture of Velma Teague Library painted by Jim Woods. And we have the original blueprints that the architect's granddaughter asked us if we would like them, and we said, of course. So let's continue on into the dining room.
Great.
These pieces came from the Border Ranch down in southeastern Arizona. The Sands had property down there, or still have property down there.
That's where they had their cattle ranch?
This is the whistle from the Webster's Creamery Dairy that was at 51st in Maryland and Grand Avenue. And we have this interesting picture, and Carol St. Clair always put it like this, and people on the tour would turn it this way. But actually, it was supposed to be this way because the truck flipped over. And this whistle used to go off 3 times a day. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember it well. And the dairy was operating, gosh, throughout probably about the time I hit high school, it had quit.
Yes. We were very fortunate to get this. And this is a beautiful crystal punch bowl, and it was used at an event at Sands Chevrolet, and unfortunately it was dropped. Fortunately, we got it, so it's kind of mended, and we're really proud of that. We have a silver tray that belonged to this John and Marie Sands. And we have over here a nutcracker set, and this was donated by Councilwoman Tomachov's husband. It was his uncle had it. The furniture in this room was donated by a lot of our society members. We have the rocking chair that was Max Class's. We have the desk that was Bill Eubanks.
You know what they need to know? Max Class, former mayor,
Yes.
Attorney Glendale, the judge, Court of Appeals, yeah, all Glendale.
And over here we have a picture by Zareta Twitty. Do you remember Zareta Twitty,
Yes,
the famous
I do.
artist?
I have a painting.
Everybody in Glendale has a Zareta Twitty
Yes.
painting, yes. This is the portrait she did of the twins. Over in the other bedroom we have Charlie's. And we're only missing David, so if David's watching, maybe we'll get it.
We're going to the mystery closet?
Yes. Not sure if you can see, but there are stairs going up, so the closet, actual closet part is elevated, and it's because of the bunk room and the stairs that are downstairs, but the closet goes up like this. And everybody enjoys looking at that. Okay, we'll continue on to the pantry.
Got it.
This is a pantry. We have some of the Sands dishes displayed here. And you might be interested to know that this was once a separate building. Well, it was part of the main house. You can see the wall of the house here. And then this was the porch. And this is the old kitchen over here. So let's walk right in there and look at some of the...
We were talking, Jessica, the kitchen was not attached to the homes in case the kitchen caught on fire, it wouldn't burn the house down.
Right, and you can see by the brickwork that was, it's very obvious that way, huh? And this is the original kitchen. We have the original ice box, and look at these ice cube trays.
Oh, those are classics?
Yes, it once was just an ice box, and then they electrified it. And then we have the original stove over here, and the original Hoosier. And I love the view out of these windows. Isn't that just so nice and peaceful? There used to be a swimming pool out here, and of course the orchard over here.
It's very nice.
This is the modern kitchen added in 1950, and this is a very unique refrigerator down here. You put things in it like catsup, mustard, wine, things like that didn't need to be ice cold. And it operates like an evaporative cooler. There's a burlap on the back, and you wet the burlap with a hose, and then a fan sucks the cool air through.
You can tell the nice turquoise counters from the era.
Yes, from the 1950s.
Doesn't quite match the house.
No, that was Marie's touch to modern. And now we'll go into the porch.
Okay.
We have a couple of interesting things. Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh. And this is the porch. Of course, where the new kitchen was added, that was the porch also. And also there was a porch on the other side of the house. I think the most interesting thing here is the screens. Now they could put the screens all the way down or all the way up, and they adjusted it by this nail. So here's the holes where you could put the nail in. And this is Marie Sands' bicycle. They owned the property where Valley West Mall was put, and Marie used to ride her bike up there.
Sure. No, my eyes went right to the old water bay.
Yes.
Nobody even sees those anymore.
Right. We all had them on the front of our car when we went over to California, because if your radiator bubbled over, then you needed to have water. We have a lot of interesting washing machine type things. Probably the most primitive washing machine. You just put your clothes in there, your soap in there, and you just beat on it until you thought they were nice and clean. A lot of people will come in and tell us their stories about getting their hand stuck in the wringer. But,
yeah, my family had one at a cabin.
Oh, they did.
That's what they used. Here we go.
Now we're stepping back into the main house, main part of the house, and this was David and Charlie's room. And we have a picture of, this is Zareta's picture of Charlie here. Now,
so, you know this? Did they tear down wallpaper? How they discovered the kids' drawings?
Francis and Marie both love to wallpaper, and we have rolls of wallpaper up in the attic that have the dates and what room they were in. And so when there was not wallpaper on the wall, the children could draw. So John and Lewis drew this picture in 1915. In 1950s, John's 4 boys had Uncle Lewis and John autograph it. So 1915, 1950, the others are from the 50s. And this is one of our prizes. This is a Hamilton bed. You remember that they were the ones who first built the house in 1897.
Oh, sure.
They left their, the bed and the quilt. And then our other prize is this rocker, and the family had it restored for us. There's John and Louis out in the front, date palm, with their mother, Frances, sitting in this rocker. And we have Flora's doll. She was much loved. Her arms have been put on backwards. So you can tell that she was prized by Flora. Flora was John and Louis's sister.
Okay.
Until 1925, this was the only bathroom. We have the original sink and shaving cup. And here we have Louis Marshall's comb and brush set down here. This, since it was the only bathroom, it opened to the dining room and to the 2 bedrooms too. And it had a 2-sided cabinet here. Okay. And this is the master bedroom. John, Louis, and Flora were born in the master bedroom in a brass bed. In the 50s, Marie went to an auction and she bought this bed, which is pretty massive.
Massive.
Yes. I'm not even sure they must have disassembled it even to get through our wide doorway.
Jessica, let's go upstairs and look around.
All right. I think you'll enjoy the sky parlor. Most of the people who come on this tour are excited to see the sky parlor. It was something you could see from all over Glendale. And we're passing by the nanny's quarters and the attic, which we'll see when we come back down. I doubt if you've ever seen those, Ian.
No, that's
Okay.
This is a mystery.
Downtown Glendale was 1 mile away, and this property was 320 acres from Orangewood to Northern, 51st to 59th, and it was a working cattle, citrus, date farm. They had everything you can imagine, and it was actually where I live and where you lived was part of the Sands property, and they slowly began selling pieces off.
Well, they could see all their workers at one time just look out.
John used to be looking out, making sure that they were doing what they should be doing. And there were, over here was a date packing shed, and there were some cabins for some of the workers, and there was a swimming pool right down here also.
Yeah, World War II, they put a light on top of the building because it's right in line with the airstrip at Luke Air Force Base.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, you can see that this trap door here, Charlie used to get a ladder, climb up there, and put a flag up on 4th of July. From this sky parlor, you can see the garage over here. In 1912, Louis made a killing at the horse races, and so he got a garage, a chauffeur, and a car. So that was when that was built. And then we have the granary over here, which has lots of old farm equipment.
You know, Buzz Sands told me they would hide the new model years of the Chevrolets here at the ranch.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
and
my.
then unveil them at the dealership. This is where they hid them. It was a big thing back in
Oh, yes,
those days.
that's true, yes.
The new models.
And there weren't that many different types of cars either. So we own, the Glendale Arizona Historical Society owns these 2 acres here, which includes the citrus trees and the buildings. And you can see over here the office, where there are 3 safes, and it was a working office. We even have Levi's that the workers could purchase.
Well, we have to duck to get in here.
Yes, this is a nanny's quarters. This is where she did the mending, watched the children, and then down this hallway is a bedroom, a bathroom with no fixtures, and a trunk room. And usually, it's not air conditioned because usually the women and the children would go away either to California or up to Flagstaff or back to Michigan. So
For the summers.
yes, and
Okay.
the men stayed and took care of the crops and keeping everything going here.
To the basement?
Oh, sounds good.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That was my head.
Now we're going to go down to the basement. Elaine Scruggs was our mayor, as you remember, for 20 years.
Yeah.
And so when she retired, she had a lot of her things that had been given to her and a lot of important papers that she was keeping. And so she's got this little area in here with her things. This is a school exhibit. We have a lot of things from former Glendale High students.
Oh, I can tell where it all came from.
Yes, you can. And a lot of the old pictures, pictures of the buildings and such. You know, look, First Grammar School, 58th Avenue and 58th Drive on West Palmyra.
Yeah, we called it Unit 1.
Yes.
And that was my grade school. Glendale High is the oldest high school in the state. And this is from
Is it
Glendale
really?
High.
I
Yes,
didn't
it
realize
is.
that, yes.
It was 100 years old in 2011.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Martha.
Yeah, Martha Dennis.
That's
Martha
what I
Dennis.
thought.
This is my
That's what I
son's
thought it
jacket. Uh-huh.
Cardettes.
Yes. And then
Troop 62.
when Peter Rathwell was in here, he saw this Boy Scout uniform and he said, I've got a Cub Scout uniform, so he just brought this last Saturday.
Did
for us.
he?
So I've got a
He was quite a
exhibit.
few years ahead of me, but the Rathwells, we're talking, they built my parents' home, they built your home.
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a great
Just lived-
family.
Yes, just lived on Belmont in
Hey,
58th
tell you, I
Avenue.
have the Scout uniform and the Cub Scout uniform.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Troop 62.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Did they meet at the First Methodist Church?
Yes, they did.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the troop my son was in also. Okay, and over here we have quite a few stuffed animals. Now they were not shot by the Sands family. They probably got them at an auction, and so we're now thinking about donating them to the Fish and Game Department. They apparently came out and counted them and looked at them and said they were interested.
Oh, how nice.
So we might be doing that. There used to be a billiards table under here, and you can see the holes.
Yeah, I know where they're from. They're cue sticks.
And John heard the poking when he was upstairs and came down and apparently was not happy with his sons. We have a lot of exhibits here, the libraries. When they had the centennial, we have a lot of pictures from there.
Right.
More things from Unit 1. I think you'd be interested to see the Outhouse Open exhibit. It's just right
Charlie
across.
Boots?
Yes, uh-huh.
That would
So
have to be his.
Yes, and Jeff was just in putting up the current winner of the Outhouse Open, which was held last summer.
Should we, Let me tell him, the Outhouse Open is a golf tournament. And it was created by some local business owners in Glendale, and it's played in Prescott, and it's a huge tournament.
It is, uh-huh.
There's a waiting list to try to play in it. Let's go and look at it.
Okay,
Oh, that's the Outhouse Open.
yes, originated in 1963.
Yeah, local business owners. And you can figure out some of them. That would be Charlie Boots, yeah, the Z. I don't, his father-in-law, White, was one
Yes.
of the founding members. John Seeley. Gosh, I don't know them all.
And there-
Whitney was a founding member.
There's some pictures over here of the members from a long time ago.
Huge tournament. The Prescott has probably the best 4th of July parade. And as I'm a boy, there goes the Outhouse. You know? Yeah, the Glendale guys were in the
And
parade.
here's Charlie and Jeff.
Son Jeff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Most
the-
of these bags are Charlie's.
And this bag is from the Sands family. Charlie said that it has been here always been here, so
Played in the summertime in July.
up when it's cool in Prescott.
Right.
And Charlie Boots did design this room. He came to spend a lot of time on it.
Charlie Boots, great success story. Grew up in poverty in Glendale and became a very successful business owner. And his
Yes.
son carried on the business.
And not only that,
His
and his
grandsons.
and his
Yeah.
son-in-law too.
Yes. Oh, yes. Bill
And
Gibson.
he was a great benefactor for the Glendale, Arizona Historical Society.
That's great. Jessica, is a great tour. And as you know, I hold my district meetings here twice a year, and we get 200 people, a huge crowd. Last time, over 50 came for that tour from you, and they really appreciated it.
Oh, thank you. Well, we enjoyed being able to show the house to them, and we hope they'll come back for the full tour when they
They don't get to
have
see
time.
the basement. They need to come down.
Yes, they do.
See it all.
And the Sky Parlor. A
Yes,
lot of them didn't go to
yes.
the Sky Parlor either. So
Took me years to get up there.
That's true. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I enjoyed showing you.
I'm Councilmember Ian Hugh from the Cactus District, and thank you for watching.